If you haven't started saving the dough, it's the time to do it now. It's never a better time to get started. If we haven't met him, Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where we don't just invest the dough, we like to educate you on your dough. If you didn't watch the other day, Dustin and I did a video on average net worth. And it seems as though the average, a lot of people are way behind for saving for retirement. So what happens if you're in your 50s and you just, you've done some, but you don't feel like you have near enough? Well, let's talk about that, come up with an actual plan for you to figure out what you need to be doing. Now, if you say, well, how much will I need in retirement? A good baseline, kind of a rule of thumb, a lot of times people say 70 to 75% of your current salary is what you'll be retiring on. Other people say maybe it's 10 times your current salary. So think about that, come up with some base numbers, but really it all comes down to a lot of different variables. One of those is Social Security. How much are you going to be getting in Social Security? Because if you're getting a lot and you don't need a lot to live on, that's going to be a real big benefit. At the same time, how much have you saved? How much is your expected return? Are you investing aggressively or are you investing very conservatively? Right this second, if you pull up an old 401k, maybe you've got one just sitting out there. I know some people who could maybe help with that. The thing is, if it's just sitting out there, think about this, because I've seen those just sitting in cash sometimes. They're not invested in the market. You're not going to get any growth. So really focus on where the dough is, what you're doing with it. And so let's go ahead and jump over to the screen and I'll show you a little bit of a plan. We got my man Louis Armstrong here. And Louis, what he's got going on is currently he wants to retire at 55 and he's 50 and he's saved $150,000. Now, with the planner here that we have, this is one that we use for our clients in our portal called the Dojo. And with that, it's showing that he needs to save about $128,000 a year to be able to hit his goals. And current salary is only $80,000. So ultimately, it's not going to work, Louis. But what we have to really think through here is what's realistic? What is realistic for your scenario? Because in your scenario, if you've only saved $150,000 and you want to retire at 55, maybe that's not for you. So let's go ahead and adjust this. And let's just say that he's going to retire with what Social Security would be at full retirement age. And that is at 67 years old. So if he's going to retire here at 67, there we go. And he's going to live for 23 years. So he's going to live 23 years after that. He'll pass away at age 90. You got to figure out, when are you going to die? I know it's a horrible one to think about, but ultimately it's going to happen. And you've got to figure out, when does the money need to stop? And so right there, just that alone has adjusted it quite a bit. Now he only needs to save $15,000. And with that, he's going to project that he's getting a 7% return. Current salary, again, is at $80,000. And he needs to save a little bit more here. Well, let's just say that he's going to do a Roth IRA. Well, you know what? First, before we even do that, we've got to look. Percent of salary saved, 2%. And his employer match is 5%. That's an easy one to make sure that you're grabbing some extra dough there. And so that's 5%. We're going to adjust that. Boom, just right there. He's taking the match now on the 401k. Free money coming in. Then we'll look and we'll say, hey, let's bump him up a little bit here. And let's say that he's going to max out a Roth IRA every year. Now he only has a shortfall of $100,000. Says he still needs to save about $10,200 a year to be able to hit his mark. His mark here is retire at $56,000, which is about 70% of his current salary. Then you've got your retirement returns, other retirement income. That's Social Security. He's going to get a couple $1,000s a month at full retirement there. And his average investment return, again, is 5.5% in retirement years. So he's still keeping the money invested. He's going to have to do that. So he can make some slight adjustments here. Let's just say that he's going to save 9% towards his 401k. Right there, now he's got a little bit of a surplus. He could actually cut it down to $7,000. And there we go. Let's just get this down to 8%. Let's see. Now, he's cutting it close, but he's there. So that's ultimately really what you want to do. You want to plug this into a planner. You want to find your number. You want to figure out what you need to save for where you are. But start to think through, are you taking the match on the 401k? Look at Social Security. Start to go ahead and get your projections there and then figure out how much you are actually going to need in retirement. Those are all great ways, if you're behind on saving for retirement, to figure it out. If you need help, we're here at Jazz Wealth. You can go to jazzwealth.com. We'd be happy to help you.